Hey, Troyans and Stars, it's Coach Hawkins. I'm going to be going over some important stuff for you to be thinking about with competition season. And the first video I'm posting is a in-depth look at the score sheet. Now, many of you have probably seen a score sheet before, and if you haven't, I really recommend that you watch this more than once and take your time watching it because this is what you're going to be scored on, and this is what your practices are all circled around. So, you see a duplicated score sheet on the screen. I'm going to go through how a judge looks at this score sheet and how it applies to a dance. And after I go through that, I'm going to show you some examples in some other videos that you can look at just to kind of see how you think the team measures up and what room for growth we have. So, first, content, showmanship and presentation, execution and precision, and then technique. Notice the two big score getters are execution and precision and technique at the bottom. Most judges are going to give you about a 20 for this off the bat. We don't like to give you less than this unless your costume is not fitting the routine or the choreography does not fit the genre. However, if we notice that your team is not doing a whole lot of movement around the floor, there's not a lot of variety, there's not a lot of transition, then we would take points off. So this is more of a what is in your dance. So this is a director score, if you will. This section here, showmanship and presentation, though, is super important for you guys. This is scoring the director, making sure that she has included everything that should be in the dance and making sure that she has, fit the genre. But this section is all about what you bring. And honestly, while technique and execution have the most points, a lot of teams beat other teams out in this section here, showmanship and presentation. That's smiling, eye contact, energy level, appropriate costuming. Um, are the costumes flattering? Are you popping out of the costume? Facial expressions. Are you changing things up? Are you emoting and showing emotion, or is your face dead? Are you projecting? You'll see in some of the videos that I show you that the judges are very high up. So are you lifting up the way I tell varsity all the time, projecting? Confidence, carriage, and poise. Are your movements big? Are you confident in your movements, sure of your movements? And then appropriate makeup. All right. So these are things that apply to the team, to the dancers themselves. And I guarantee you, one of the things that we give a lot of negative points on are energy level, eye contact, facial expression, emotion, and body projection, especially this one. For jazz, hip hop, pom, when we see your energy drop, you lose points. So that's where that stamina comes into play. Third section, execution and precision. Remember, this is one of our larger point getters. And one of the first things that we look at for execution and precision is timing and then, of course, synchronization. So we're watching your team's every move and we're looking to see how together you are. Not only that, the second thing we look at quite a bit is spacing and alignment. Every single person should be in a specific spot at all times. Sorry, y'all. Every single person should be in a specific spot at all times. There should never be a person out of place. So it matters if you're not in your spot. Notice another thing on this list is control and fluidity. We care about textures. We care about hitting our hard movements hard, hitting our fluid movements in a soft and smooth way. But another one that is important is completion of movements and clarity of movement. For example, if there's fast arm movements on your palm, are you actually completing those movements or are you running through them? The clarity of movement. Can I tell that the arm is supposed to be a low V, or do I see some girls that are at kind of a in between low V, in between T kind of placement? That matters because that takes away from precision. So everyone has to be together. And then, of course, memory. Last section, technique. Extension. This means are all of our back legs straight in our leaps? When we kick, are our knees extended? Head placement. Are we looking at the same thing? Are we focused on the same thing at all times? Arm placement, same thing. Where are our arms? Legs, where are our legs? This one is super important. Turnout and foot placement. I take off, personally as a judge, I take off for this the most probably out of all of these. And that is because everything, I always start at the feet. When I'm judging, I look at the feet first. And this applies to foot closures. When you get to a certain spot after your transition, are your feet together? Are they apart? Are they shoulder width? Are they straddle? Are they turned out? Is the passe leg up and lifted? When I see you turning, is your foot dangling and flopping, or is it strong? Whenever you are rolling off the ground or rolling from the ground to get up, are your feet pointed? These are things that judges will look at and they'll easily nickel and dime you on. So your feet should always be pointed. Turns and spotting. We love to see teams turn together and spot together. Alignment, which way your body is facing, your torso is facing. And then leaps and kicks if applicable. So again, the two big point getters are execution and technique, but you can really win the battle here with performance. So if you've learned anything from this video, think about each genre of dance that our team is competing and how that applies to that particular style of dance. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to walk you through some examples and give you some opportunity to see how this score sheet stacks up, against those different teams, so you can see what to do and in some cases what not to do. Okay? Thanks for watching.